Let's see.
I'm recording this, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, it just told me that you were.
Yep.
That's okay. Let's see. Got it. Okay. There you go.
All right. Perfect. So you're ready to roll?
Yeah. What are we gonna do? You got any idea? There's my wife bring me some coffee.
Hi, Susie.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
She's gone. She doesn't hang around for such things.
I thought we were gonna have a co-host. Darn it.
Oh no. We won't even have an audience.
Oh, we had that was like a guest appearance, I guess. Something like that.
I guess so.
I'm just going to ask you some questions. You can answer them or you could not answer them any way you want. I have a listener question I'm going to throw in at the end that one of my friends wanted me to ask you. So I'm going to do that. And then I was going to ask you to play a song. And I know you said you were going to play a Christmas song, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My heroes in songwriting, Tom T. Holland, Merle Haggard, and people like that. And Haggard wrote If We Make It Through December. And I like the song, and I'll probably do it. I've got 3 shows coming up starting a week from tomorrow night.
Nice.
And I need to practice. so
well,
I'll use this. I'll use this as a practice time.
Oh, you're welcome.
I've just put yeah, thank you. It sort of forces me into it. I've got a picking session coming in about 2 weeks. The 17th of December, we're going to get together at my house. I have invited, 15 people.
Nice.
And there probably be twice that many show up. Honey, you want to shut this door? You won't make a guest appearance, honey.
Too late.
But anyway, I'm looking forward to that because of course that'll be after my show's done. The practice won't help me any at that time.
Right, but it's got to be fun to do though.
I've got some pretty good pickers coming. There's all manner of folks that show up. The ones that are not very good, and that's in quotation, because I'm not very good. If you compare me, I compare myself to some really good guitar players, and I'm not a guitar player. I'm a singer.
Okay. I disagree, but okay.
Well, I know. I guess it's all a relative thing, but it's like I was telling one of the girls that come. You may know this woman, Lori Moyer is her name. She's kind of short, She plays a pretty good guitar. Nice. She doesn't realize it, but she's like a lot of younger guitar players, hesitant to go on stage. You don't realize that the best guitar player, the absolute best guitar player that there is, was exactly at the point you were at some point.
True.
You had to get from here to here.
You have to start somewhere.
Knowing nothing to knowing everything. There's a continuum. And now they might not have stayed where I'm at as long as I've stayed where I'm at. But for me, playing a guitar is not the end. It's not the end. It's a means to the end.
Right.
I use picking a guitar to tell stories.
Yeah.
I use it as a teaching tool.
So who is the best guitar player in your family then? In your immediate family?
In our family?
Yeah.
Seth,
yeah.
Seth works on it. I mean, he absolutely works on it.
Is Scott telling the truth when he says he never practices and Seth always practices? I've heard him say that.
Scott didn't practice. He does now, not much. He and I are a lot alike. When and I was telling my grandson, his son, this last night. When Scott was coming along, and when all young people come along, when they trying to get taught something, they're bad to say I got it long before they ever have it. Scott was trying to teach him what I knew about a guitar, or trying to teach him how to ride a four-wheeler or how to drive a car. Scott would immediately say, I got it, Dad, I got it. And he didn't have a damn clue. Not a clue of what was going on with.
So Seth is the opposite. He'll sit there and practice, and he's diligent with that.
Seth, from early on, if as a parent, sometimes you say, let's have a talk. And that is dreaded words to young people, because that means they're going to have to sit down and listen to their parents tell them something. And if we were going to have a little meeting, if I wanted to talk to Seth, he'd bring a guitar and he'd sit on the couch picking that guitar while I was talking to him.
Nice. Okay.
Scott had if there's a problem, it probably comes honest. We have a lot of different interests. We have a lot of things that interest us, and sometimes having too much talent is as bad as not having enough talent.
Yeah, I get that.
I am interested in an awful lot of different things, from well-made machinery to how things work, to music, to art, to people's lives. These things are of great interest to me, and I'm not real good at anything, but I'm pretty good at a lot of things.
Yeah, I get that, but I think you're being real humble, because like your music is great. You have a lot of fans that love your stuff, and I hope you realize that. I know you're very humble about that, but your art, is that something you've always been interested in, like your whole life, or did you just recently get into?
Here's one that you'll see tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Okay, the mushroom thing. You've been doing a lot of mushrooms lately. I've seen that.
Just yesterday and today.
Yeah.
How about that one?
Nice. Where's all the napkins that you've been drawing?
This is a napkin.
Oh, is that a napkin? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. These things. Here's the mushroom you saw yesterday.
Okay.
All right. Maybe you haven't seen that. I lose track. I lose track of these things.
Very nice.
I like to do so many different type things, but most of my art, and the answer to your question, I've never had an art class. I've never had a music lesson.
Really? You just taught yourself. But yeah. I mean, your kids have picked up on all of this stuff. It seems like they're artists and musicians and very talented at both of those things.
A lot of that comes from my mother. It didn't come from me directly.
Okay.
My mother was a concert pianist.
Okay.
Until she met my dad, who was a preacher.
Right.
Then she became the church organist. And that's a non-paying position, by the way. But she was a talented person. And those things impressed me. Although I say music lessons, guitar lessons. I never had a guitar lesson. I took piano for 3 years, violin for 4 years before I ever picked up a guitar.
Okay.
I didn't master either one of those, but I learned some basic stuff there. And the importance of music is not that you get on stage. It's not that you write great songs. It's that you understand that things fit together.
Yeah.
Everything fits together. And music is like higher mathematics. The higher you go on the ladder, the smaller the pieces are, but they all fit.
Right.
When you get up into trigonometry and you get into forever, infinity, mathematics will fit together.
Yeah, I'm not a math person.
It teaches you that there is order in this life. Yeah. There is an answer to everything. There's a reason for everything. I don't believe in luck. I hear people say, well, they lost the game because just bad luck. He didn't catch that pass. No, he didn't catch the pass because he wasn't good enough. That's why I didn't catch the pass. It's
Right.
all pretty simple when it comes down to it.
You talk about your mother being a talented musician. What would she think of what your family has done with music and art, and what would she think about what your children have done professionally?
I have wondered that some. She died, I believe it was 2002.
Yeah. So she was there right at the beginning of when they started playing, but
yes.
never saw them turn into a big deal.
Well, the one thing that I regret about my dad is he never saw me up down the hill of crap. And there was some questions probably early on that I probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
There was some questions whether I was going to flunk out of the 7th grade.
Yeah.
These things have a way of working out. And my mother and my dad both had what's the word? It's the strongest faith that I've ever seen in people.
Mm-hmm.
They did not fret past preparing for something. My dad told me early on, he said, if you're getting ready to face something, he said, you do everything that you can to grease the tracks. You do everything you can. And if you can avoid it, avoid it. But when you get through, just put it in the hands of the Lord, because you've done everything you can do.
Right.
If you this is not a religious thing. I have a great deal of faith in tomorrow. I have a great deal of faith in my kids, your kids. It's going to be okay. Our church is falling apart. They're going to split. They're Methodist. We haven't been going to church for probably 5, 6, 7 years. Somewhere they left me behind. But they're fretting over penny things, little petty things. And they are led by petty leaders. My opinion. I don't worry about the Methodist Church. I don't worry about religion.
Yeah.
It'll come around.
You believe in what you believe in.
I guess so, yeah. I absolutely believe in what I believe in. I don't profess to make a problem out of it, because I don't understand there's a time for faith, and that's the whole key. I have faith that the sun will come up tomorrow. It may not.
Oh gosh, we hope it does.
If it don't, all the rest of it's a moot question.
Yeah, that's not going to be good if that doesn't.
The answer to your question, what would Mom think about? She'd be proud. She'd be proud.
Oh, I bet.
She'd be surprised. Not as much as Susie and I were. We never. I won't say expected. We expected them to do well.
Yeah.
I told our children early on, I don't care what you are. I want you to be the best there is of whatever you are. I want you to be the best you can be at doing whatever. If you want to be a trash man, I want you to be the best trash man that you can possibly be. I can be the best guitar player that I can be and still not worth shit.
Yeah. So true.
And I don't, this is where, a lot of kids want to be basketball players. They want to play in the NBA.
Right.
And they're so disappointed when they don't make it. It's not realistic.
Not even close.
Not realistic. When you see a pro game, you're looking at a bunch of freaks, is what you're looking at. That's between you and me. This is not for public consumption. But you're looking at people who have bodies that are freaks. They're not normal.
Right.
And a normal person can't start to compete with that.
Yep. And what is there? 12 guys on each team in the NBA, 30 teams, and that's it for professional basketball players.
And every kid in the world picks up a basketball.
Right.
And they, score the winning points.
Yep. And only that many of them make it. Not less than that.
There's that many, and there's this many that make it.
Yep. Not many.
I think if you do the best you can, I don't ever think that you are a failure.
Yeah.
If I play the best I can possibly pick, then I'm not a failure. I don't care if I didn't get past rung 3 out of 100 rungs on the music success ladder.
Mm-hmm.
I got to rung 3, and that was the best that I could do. and I can accept that.
Yeah.
Because I can raise pretty good tomatoes.
Yeah.
And I know how to fix an old automobile.
Yeah.
And I know how to lay brick. I know how to shovel dirt. And I know which way the sun comes up.
You say your mother would be proud of your kids, but now how about you and Susie? Like, could you ever, I mean, what's it feel like to know that your 3 children, all of your children, mean so much to so many people? Because they really do. They really do. Their fan base is a big, strong family. It feels like.
You're preaching to the choir here.
Yeah.
I know that, and I'm forever grateful. We are grateful that they have something to say, and they have a stump to say it from. You have to be careful who you're influencing and how you're influencing people.
Mm-hmm.
I open some shows by saying this. Most people know what they do. Most people know why they do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
What most people don't know is what they do does.
Right.
You need to be careful of what you say, because somebody out there is listening. They have a lot of people listening to them.
They sure do.
I think they have something to say that's worthwhile.
They absolutely, their lyrics have so much meaning for so many people. I mean, you see the people walking around with tattoos of their lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
Does that blow their mind and your mind? I mean, it's insane.
It blows my mind that anybody gets a tattoo. I'm from the old school.
So you don't have any tattoos, you're saying?
I was in the Navy for 4 years, and I ain't got any tattoos.
Well, that's saying something.
I saw guys that had Snoopy, the Peanuts dog, tattooed on their arm. Tattoos it's like body jewelry. People think that they need some way to glamorize themselves, or they want to. It's sort of like smoking Marlboro cigarettes, the man's country.
Yeah.
It's sort of like drinking Budweiser beer.
Yeah.
They want to be identified. They want to be identified with that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I never felt like I didn't like the idea of pain. I didn't realize how painful it was until people started telling me. But I can't imagine anything that I would want tattooed on me.
You don't want your children's faces tattooed on you? Like there's a lot of people walking around with tattoos of your children's faces on them.
Go figure. I don't even want Susie's face or my face tattooed on me. Let's just leave that alone.
Well, that would be weird to tattoo yourself on you, but but yeah, I think that would blow my mind if my kids got to a point where people wanted to tattoo their faces on their bodies. That blows my mind.
Bless their hearts.
Yeah.
Bless their hearts.
There you go. Let me ask you a music question here. The album Mignonette. I've always wondered this. There's 2 tracks on that album with the same name, Signs. There's the version that you did. That was the original version, right? Yeah. And then their version of your song. How did that all work out? How did you get did they just put that on there without asking you, or did they talk to you first? How did that work out?
There was a book. It wasn't Custom of the Sea. That's another book. Whatever the book was, the little ship in it was named Mignonette.
Okay.
This incident happened about 1885 or 6 or 7 or 9 or somewhere along in there. This boat captain took 3 people, 3 sailors, and they got on a 75-foot boat called the Mignonette, and they were going to go from England around the Good Hope, the bottom of Africa, and over to Australia and stay there the rest of their life. At that time, you didn't, make these trips unless you planned on staying.
Right. No return. There wasn't return trips.
They got off the a 2-way ticket. Yeah. They got off they got into a storm off the coast of Africa, off the western coast of Africa. It sank the ship. They got into a little 14-foot boat, all three of them, and drifted for 3 weeks. They were hungry. One of the sailors was close to dying. The captain told the other two if they didn't get something to eat and drink, they were going to die too. So they were going to eat the guy. So they did. 2 days later, a German freighter came within hailing distance and started for him to pick them up. The two sailors told the captain, said, just take the rest of his body and throw it in the sea and tell him that he died and he was buried at sea. Captain said, no, I'm going to tell the truth. They won't do anything to us for telling the truth. He told the truth. That got him 7 years in solitary.
Oh my gosh.
At that time, solitary meant you got out of your cell 1 hour a week. I read the book and I thought enough of it and I gave it to the boys to read.
Yeah.
When they came back, they said they were working on a album and that they would like to use that name. I said, Henson was the guy's name that wrote the book. They emailed him and asked him if they could use the name Mignonette for the title of this album. Mm-hmm. He said, you're more than welcome to use that. I don't own that. But if you will, if you want to use that, if you'll send me 2 of the CDs, I'll write a little paragraph or a couple sentences you can put on your CD. And he did. You have the hard copy of that CD. Neil Henson is the guy's name. He wrote a couple of sentences, and it's on that jacket.
Yeah, I got to check that out.
They went to Nashville. I think they recorded that in Nashville. Anyway, they went over there to do something. When they came back, they just said, you were a big hit in Nashville this weekend. I said, yeah. I said, what was that? He said, your song Signs. He said, we've included it on our album. And I said, really? And he said, yeah, we do our version. And then as a hidden track, 7 seconds or whatever it is after the 19th track, Here Comes You singing in 1974.
Wow, that's 1974. That's really cool. So I always wondered why there was so much space in between the track before and that song. I never thought it was a hidden track. That's cool to know that.
And by the way, I didn't get any money out of it. I wouldn't take any money out of that. That's family does things together.
That's really cool though. That's a cool story. I appreciate you telling me that.
You look on that jacket and you'll Neil Henson is the guy that wrote it. He's from Ireland, I believe, Wales, and I don't know if he's still alive or not. And I think Custom of the Sea may be the name of that book. Custom of the Sea.
All Avid fans are going to their Mignonette CDs right now and looking up the liner notes that are listening to this. I shouldn't say everyone that's listening.
That's one advantage of buying a physical jacket cover.
Sure. Yeah.
Because you have in my stuff, I put in a pamphlet that has the lyrics in it and also the liner notes. I mean, telling you what I was thinking about when I wrote it. And I really wish more writers would do that, because I've heard some songs I wondered what in the hell were they thinking when they wrote this. But anyway, what the hell do I know?
Yeah, well, that's the thing about having all your music on a phone now. You don't get any of that stuff. Spotify does have lyrics that you can scroll through sometimes, not everything though. But I love having the physical copy and the liner notes and all that stuff. Even right now, Mignonette was never pressed on vinyl, was it? No. Is there any plans for that? Do you know? That'd be cool.
I don't think so. I don't think.
I'd buy it.
Well,
throw that out there.
no, I say that, but I'm not in the loop, and I don't want to be in the loop.
Oh, okay.
One of the reasons the boys have been as successful as they have been is Dad doesn't get in the loop.
So if I asked you when their new album's coming out, you have no idea.
I didn't know they were making one.
Oh, come on, you did too.
Somebody came up to me the other day, well, they're always making a new album, but somebody came up to me within the last week and said, I see your sons are opening at Merle Fest. And I said, really? And the guy said, you're kidding. You didn't know that? And I said, no, I didn't know that.
And you talk to them all the time, right? I mean, you live right there with them.
We talk about family stuff.
Well, that's true.
We don't talk about music.
Right.
You work in a cable factory.
I do.
Well, do you talk to your friends about cables?
I do not. I do not.
You don't talk to your cousin about cables.
Nope.
You talk to them about their kids. You talk to them about the garden. You talk to them about their dog.
Right.
It's just normal stuff. I say I don't. This morning I went over to Scott's. We had some stuff we wanted to talk about art. He said, "Come upstairs. I want to let you hear something." He's working on something with the girl from Seattle, I believe. Anyway, great voice. God, she is something else. I don't even know her name. But there's a song. Bobby Bare. I don't know if you ever heard of Bobby Bare.
Sure, I do. Through you, I've heard of him.
Bobby Bare was like a second or third player. And he did this song. He's 89. He came out 2 years ago with this song.
Oh, wow.
Things change. Don't bat an eye. If you do, it'll pass you by. By the time you think you've got it figured in, things change, then change again. Son, that's the truth. That's the world we're living in. That's the way it's gonna be, because that's the way it's always been. Things change. Don't bat an eye. It's a great song. But I went over there and he said, come back next week and record that one in my studio.
Yeah.
And I'll do the harmony, and at least you'll have it. That I think I'm going to tell him that's my Christmas present.
Nice.
Sometimes we do songs and give them to one another.
Well, that's cool.
Not necessarily our song, but some other songs.
And nothing that ever gets released anywhere or anything. It's just songs that you record for each other. That's cool. You should record, or you should release that stuff someday. Maybe not. That's pretty private, I guess. I don't have a lot of time left here because the meeting said we only have 10 minutes left. That's not good. I could talk to you all night. I know you want to play.
Are we doing the meeting now?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's been going on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, it's all good.
Well, if I need to apologize for offending people.
Nah, you didn't offend anyone.
I probably will offend everybody before it's all over.
Nah, not at all. Can I ask you a really dumb question? This is like a really dumb question about Seth. His name is Timothy, right? His middle name is Seth. Why does he go by Seth? I've never heard the answer to this. Is that just his preference, or is that what you just always called him?
That's mom and dad.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Does he go by Timothy? I mean, I know he signs his name that way sometimes. I've seen autographs like that.
No, if you're talking to him, you need to call him Seth.
Okay. I've never heard the explanation for that.
You don't need to call Scott Yancey either.
Does anyone ever call him that? No. I just see Timothy Seth Avett, and I always wondered why Seth? Why does he go by Seth? But you just always called him that.
Exactly.
That's an easy explanation. Why didn't you name him Seth? Seth Timothy.
We did name him Seth.
Okay. You're right.
Call him whatever. I mean,
I told you it was a stupid question. I just
agree,
always wondered. You're not
agree.
supposed to agree with that. There's no such thing as stupid questions you're supposed to say. But
Okay.
that's just something I've always wondered. And I know you want to play a song because we had talked about it earlier, a Christmas song. But I also have to ask you this, and I've never, I guess I've heard you kind of say the answer to this. The lyrics to the song "Murder in the City." I'm sure you've been asked this a million times. Which they say which brother is better, which one our parents love the best. Do you have a favorite child?
I think that all children think two things. I think one, they think that the other kid is the favorite.
Of course.
And I think all children think at some point in their life, I'm adopted.
I've been told that.
I don't think any of our children, none of our children were adopted. And
that's
I would take our children off when they were like 11 or 12 or 13. And the question was coming up is, who do you like best? I would take Bonnie off to the side and I say, you're my favorite.
Oh, there you go.
I love you more than I love anything. And she would get up walking off with a big head.
Yeah.
As soon as Seth walked by, I'd say, Seth, come here.
Oh,
You're
man.
really my favorite. I love you more than anything else. And the same thing for Scott. I don't think that I don't know that you love one more than the other ever.
Right. I have 3 kids and I feel the same way.
Okay. Sometimes your children are going to need all the love.
Right.
They're going to need everything that you can give them.
Yep.
And sometimes they're not going to need anything and they don't want it. And the trick as a parent is figuring that out.
Yeah.
Figuring out when you got to let him roll, let him go on his own. Let them make their own mistakes. If it's not fatal.
Right.
Let them make their own mistakes. You made yours. Yep. You turned out okay.
Well, so far.
Why you want to act like this is the end? This ain't the end. Right. Everything is not a drama. Everything is not a defeat. You have to change gears sometimes. And that's absolutely normal. Most parents don't realize. They think that, I had a couple of weeks ago, I had a girl text me and she said, this is the worst day of my life. I said, why is that? She said, my 5-year-old is in big trouble. And I said, what did he do? I thought he'd kill somebody. He said he was talking too much and not paying attention in kindergarten.
Oh, man.
This is what 5-year-olds do for a living.
Pretty much.
They talk too much and they don't pay attention.
I can vouch for that.
This is not a big deal. This is not a big deal. You'll have some bigger fish to fry. And if you think last week the worst drama that your 13-year-old came up with is the worst it can get, you just hang around. There's something else coming next week.
All right,
you need to remember, you're the parent. You're not their best friend.
Good point.
You are their best friend, but you're a dad before that.
Agreed. All right, I have one last listener question here for you. This is from a guy you may know in Scranton, Pennsylvania. His name's Michael Gans. You know Michael?
Don't let him ask a question.
Oh, well, he says, do you have a favorite Avett fan? And I think he hopes that you say Michael Gans, but I don't know.
There's this guy in Scranton that he's my favorite.
Okay, there you go. That you just made him happy. All right, can we wrap it up with a Christmas song?
Sure. This is a Haggard tune.
Nice.
That Haggard was a blue collar writer and one of the best. He was the real deal. If we make it through December, everything's gonna be all right. I know it's the coldest part of wintertime, and I shiver when I see the falling snow. If we make it through December, got plans to be in a warmer place come summertime. Maybe even California. If we make it through December, we'll be fine. Got laid off down at the factory. and their time is not the greatest in the world. Lord knows I've been working hard. Wanted Christmas to be special for Daddy's little girl. I don't mean to hate December. It's meant to be a happy time of year. But my little girl don't understand why her daddy can't afford no Christmas cheer. If we make it through December, everything's gonna be alright, I know. It's the coldest part of winter time, and I shiver when I see the falling snow. If we make it through December, got plans to be in a warmer place come summertime, maybe even California. If we make it through December. Yep.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Jim Avett.
Listen to Merle Haggard do that tune. God, it'll kill you.
I'm gonna
I
look it up.
appreciate you having me.
I appreciate you being here with me. I'd love to have you back sometime, and good luck on the road. I know you're going to have some shows coming up, and Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Thanks so much. Merry Christmas to all of you.